Have you ever noticed how motivation shows up only when life feels easy, but disappears the moment stress hits, when you're rejected, exhausted, or doubting yourself? Maybe you promised yourself you'd stay consistent, but then burnout, overthinking, or disappointment quietly pulled you off track. That's when many people start believing something is wrong with them. But here's the truth most people never hear. How high performers stay consistent without motivation has nothing to do with feeling inspired every day. It has everything to do with how they respond on the days they don't feel like showing up. And if you've ever wondered why consistency feels harder for you than for others, this conversation is for you. Many people struggle because they believe consistency should feel motivating. When effort feels heavy or uncomfortable, they assume something is wrong with them. High performers experience the same resistance, but they understand a deeper truth. Consistency is not driven by emotion, it is guided by identity. They decide who they are before deciding how they feel. Instead of asking, "Do I feel like doing this today?" they ask, "Is this who I am becoming?" That insight removes emotional bargaining. Guidance appears when you stop waiting for motivation and start honoring small, repeatable actions. Healing begins when you respect yourself for showing up on difficult days, because self-trust grows faster than inspiration. Many people burn out because they rely on willpower, which weakens under stress, disappointment, or fatigue. High performers rarely depend on willpower alone. They design simple systems that reduce decision-making. The insight is that structure protects energy. Fixed routines, clear boundaries, and prepared environments make consistency automatic rather than exhausting. Guidance looks like setting predictable times and removing distractions before they appear. Healing comes when the mind no longer fights itself daily and instead feels supported, calm, and steady. Many people lose consistency after setbacks because they interpret mistakes as proof they are failing. High performers see setbacks differently. They understand that progress is rarely linear and that disruption does not erase commitment. The insight is that returning matters more than being perfect. Instead of self-criticism, they practice quick course correction. Guidance appears when you treat mistakes as information, not identity. Healing happens when shame loosens its grip and you learn to resume without emotional punishment, preserving both momentum and self-respect. Many people struggle because their environment constantly pulls them toward comfort. Noise, comparison, and constant stimulation quietly drain focus. High performers protect their inner space. The insight is that discipline is not just action, it is selective attention. Guidance looks like limiting exposure to distractions, choosing silence over reaction, and creating moments of stillness even in busy days. Healing follows when the mind feels less overwhelmed and more present, allowing consistency to feel grounded rather than forced. Many people wait to feel confident before acting, believing certainty must come first. High performers reverse that order. They act first, knowing confidence is built through evidence, not intention. The insight is that consistency creates belief. Each small action becomes proof that you can be trusted with your own goals. Guidance looks like committing to manageable steps instead of dramatic change. Healing begins when self-doubt weakens because your actions quietly confirm your strength, creating emotional stability through follow-through. Many people stay inconsistent because they carry unresolved emotional weight. Stress, resentment, and unspoken disappointment quietly drain energy. High performers understand that emotional healing supports discipline. The insight is that inner peace is a productivity tool. Guidance appears when you process emotions honestly, forgive yourself for past delays, and release comparisons. Healing happens when the nervous system calms, making consistency feel less like pressure and more like alignment. Many people abandon consistency because they measure success only by visible results. When progress feels slow, discouragement grows. High performers focus instead on character development. The insight is that who you become lasts longer than what you achieve. Guidance looks like valuing disciplined habits, patience, and integrity even when outcomes lag behind effort. Healing occurs when self-worth separates from external validation, allowing steady progress without emotional swings or frustration. Many people believe high performers never struggle, but the truth is they struggle quietly and continue anyway. The insight is that consistency is an act of self-respect, not pressure. Guidance appears when you replace harsh self-talk with calm commitment and return gently after hard days. Healing comes when discipline feels supportive rather than punishing, creating a steady rhythm that carries you forward even when motivation is absent. This is how high performers stay consistent without motivation. They build systems, protect self-respect, practice patience, and trust the quiet power of daily effort. In the middle of stress, doubt, or emotional healing, they choose consistency not because it feels easy, but because it brings inner peace. If this message resonated with you, share your thoughts below. How are you healing today? Stay grounded, stay patient, and remember, strength grows quietly, one steady choice at a time.